Most people are trying to create abundance by thinking more, doing more, forcing more. But what if that's exactly the reason why it's not working out? You're told to use shallow affirmations, strategies, habits, focusing on being positive. People are chasing abundance, but they are missing what is underneath and what they can't see. Let's say there is someone. His name is Steve. Okay? And Steve works on his business, right? He tries to have more success with his business, right? To have more wealth. Now, here's the thing. He works hard, right? He maybe even uses stuff like affirmations and so on. He tries to have good habits, right? And he works every day. But whenever he works, when the day is over or in the mid of the day, he experiences like a feeling of lack, like he has expectations, right, that his business works out. Now, here's the thing. Even though he works on his business, at the end, it didn't work out based on how he wanted to. And then there's this subtle feeling of lack or fear. Oh my God, today didn't work again. Will it work tomorrow? Like how long do I try it already? Right? There's this subtle feeling of lack or these expectations. And because these expectations, because they don't get fulfilled, he feels some subtle frustration about how to have success with his business, how to generate opportunities, right? And now here's the thing. This is at the end a loop because he experienced this feeling of lack at the end, right? Like something is missing. There's something missing, right? He experiences this feeling of lack. And the real reason why it doesn't work out for Steve, it's not because he doesn't try hard enough and doesn't use enough affirmations or not enough strategies and habits. It's because he has this subtle feeling like something is missing, like there's not enough. And this recreates a loop in him. It recreates this feeling of lack again. And at the end, he ends in the same situation over and over again. So he is somehow, in a mysterious way, he lands in the same situation over and over again. Okay, where it's again like something is missing, something is lacking. And this is it. Now, here's an even greater example. After this, you will understand the full picture. And by the end of this video, you will also know, of course, how to create real abundance, what it's really about. You will have also the clarity for that. So look at this picture now, okay? Most people, they focus on habits, strategies, shallow affirmations. And this is above the water. Above the water is your consciousness, okay? It's what you are aware of. It's these tiny few percent that you are aware of yourself, for which you try to navigate the day like everyone else. Okay? Now, the real power is in the subconscious. And in the subconscious is the relationship towards money, are your deeper beliefs and emotions that are buried within you, and especially emotions towards money, right? Of course, abundance is more than just money alone, but money plays a huge role, right? So the emotions that you have towards money affect you subconsciously. If you have bad emotions connected towards money, you experience very often like you lack drive and motivation, or like you try to do, but in reality you don't want to. You feel actually tired. You just want to rest. Okay? And if you have mixed messages, then sometimes you're like, yeah, actually it's good and worth it, but at the same time you have like mixed emotions connected towards money. Then you're like, yeah, I actually want it, but I'm actually not sure. So it's kind of like mixed. If you have just strong emotions, good emotions connected towards money, you feel uplifted focusing on money, like it's the right thing to do. Okay? I don't mean that you will be 100% every day super perfect motivated. I don't mean that. That's delusional. Okay? I don't mean like every single second. But overall, like you will experience a very strong motivation, right? I don't mean like motivation like hyped, like chasing this next trick, but more like it stays overall. And this motivation is not just about helps you take action. Once you released these emotions, and with this I can reveal the first thing of the video, okay? And this is abundance doesn't come from chasing more. It comes from releasing the resistance that you have there, that you have towards abundance. So you release the resistance, okay, towards your situation as it is. You don't need to do more, or not, at least not in a way to get more of this feeling of abundance, right? So what's about is more about releasing what is there, releasing the blocks that are there, okay? And as you release them, like I said, as you release emotions, in your subconscious also this creative energy. And from this creative energy is what allows you to seek more opportunities, right? To use your creativity. If you have just a feeling of restriction and lack, it's hard to use that. It's hard to become creative. So you experience a feeling of lack and like you don't have much ideas, or things are just not working out and you feel restricted. And this is the sign that something is off. Otherwise, you will feel free, right? It will be easy to become more creative about it, about what you want. And this is the power of your subconscious. It gives you new opportunities. It allows you to get money because you connect good emotions with money. Okay, let's now get to the first exercise. Okay, at the end of the second exercise, you will understand how things are completely working out, like towards money and what you have really to do, right? At least when it comes to abundance. So what you do is basically think on the latest situations now back. The last time you were in contact with money, it can be in the supermarket, in your business, anywhere, when people were giving you gifts, when you were giving people money, right? And now think of situations where you had like a feeling like something was off, like there was maybe even a trigger, a feeling of lack, right? Maybe you're going to the supermarket and even though you bought what you wanted, or maybe you also didn't, you had the feeling like, I actually should not have done this. There's not enough. It's like a subtle feeling like there's something missing. Or the typical, the prices are too high kind of thing. This kind of thought, and beneath it, the feeling of lack. Okay, so you just think on one or two situations. Think on one, choose one situation that had to do with you being in contact with money somehow. Can be anywhere in your business, or you just thought on abundance in your business about generating opportunities or clients. But you had a feeling of lack or frustration or some kind of other emotion, right? And now you just breathe deeply in and out 3 times, like this, and let the tension remove the tension in your body a little bit, become less stiff. And now you just go into this memory and you really experience this memory again from the I perspective, not like you're an observer of this memory, but like it's literally happening again. Even if it was just a tiny friction, just go there again and allow yourself to experience this emotion of lack. Okay? Feel it in your body, feel it fully in your body, how you're experiencing it, like you're re-experiencing the situation again. And now allow yourself for the next 10, 20 minutes, or even longer if it takes, to sit with this emotion. To sit with this. You can also pause the video then. And after you're done after you have allowed yourself to experience some of this emotion, right? To feel it fully, to allow yourself that it fully happens. This experience of maybe of feeling of lack or feeling of frustration. After that now, you can then come back, right? After you have done this now. You can do something to go even deeper in this meditation. And this is that next time after you sit for 1 or 2 minutes with this emotion, you ask yourself, when was the first time I experienced this as a child? Okay? And if you are ready, if your subconscious is ready, you will start to see these images, and you just trust this blurry image or whatever comes up, and you re-experience that. You allow yourself to experience these emotions. Maybe you just didn't get the toy as a child, and the toy stands for money, right? Or something else that you want in life, but was not allowed to give you that. Okay? So by doing that, what happens is you release the negative energy towards money, towards abundance. You can do this, of course, towards other things as well, not just money, right? That was just now an example about money. And I give you also another exercise. With this, you will be fully prepared what it's really about for money. Now, as I said in the start, the more you release these blockages, right, the more abundance is there. And that's exactly like this. By you simply releasing it, you realize, okay, you have actually this feeling of abundance, like there's enough, right? And this is what you will experience once you have practiced this enough. Okay? By simply doing it, or even doing this in the video, one time you release this emotion, and the abundance becomes greater and greater and greater. So now the second exercise. With this, you'll be prepared, and this is where you think on situations where you come in contact with money, or someone giving you something. It can be a compliment. It can be a compliment, it can be a gift, like in form of something material or something else. So somewhere where you give something or get something, right? Something of value or something great. And you write down these situations, your different situations. You create like a list. So there are different situations, right? You write down situation, then you describe the situation, right? Then you describe this other situation. You can create like a list, like on the computer or on the phone. And now you write down, how do you feel in this situation? Try to remember that, and to try to be super honest, rather than thinking that you have to be now super positive in every situation. Forget this bullshit. Here's about honesty. Okay, so how do you feel in this situation? So you write down like emotion, then you write down to every situation, how do you feel? Just write down 1 or 2 emotions that you're experiencing. Okay, and then you write down your thoughts. Write down 1 or 2 dominant thoughts that you experience the situation. And next time you are triggered, you can use this meditation again. You can use this meditation again, right? You simply re-experience this feeling if there's a feeling of lack. And then what you do is you simply question these beliefs. Are they really, really true? Are they guaranteed true? Is there no other way? I don't know other people who believe in something else. And then you just choose the opposite belief. If you have a belief like there's not enough, then you just choose the opposite of it. You just choose the opposite. The more you release it, the easier it will be for you also to flip the belief. Okay? So with time and practice, you will get better at it, and you will start to see, boom, I can have abundance, right? But it starts especially with the releasing part. It's the most important part. You first release these emotions. And after you notice there's not much friction anymore, now you can focus on the beliefs. That's how it works. Okay? And if you are now interested to work even more on this, to go even deeper, you can click on the link below in the description, right? If you want to be even more aligned with your vision and release the blockages that are holding you back there, right? And yeah, comment also below, what was your lesson? What's your new belief? How did the video help you? And I see you next time. Bye bye.